Elon led a push early on to make Twitter a lot leaner. And I think that
Two billionaires, two tech empires, one heated rivalry. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are titans of the tech world, shaping the future of transportation, space exploration, and social media. But beneath their public successes lies a long-standing feud marked by clashing philosophies, sharp criticism, and even the threat of a physical showdown. From Musk deleting Tesla and SpaceX's Facebook accounts to their fiery disagreements over AI, their rivalry has played out both online and in the headlines, culminating in the bizarre proposal of a cage match. So how did it all begin? What caused two of the world's most powerful innovators to become bitter rivals? And is there more to Musk's dislike for Zuckerberg than just business competition? Let's dive into the story behind why Elon Musk hates Mark Zuckerberg and how their rivalry has shaped the future of tech. Before we dive into the reasons behind the feud between these two tech giants, let's take a closer look at their backgrounds, starting with Elon Musk. Born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon Musk showed an early fascination with science fiction, comics, and technology. His curiosity and sharp intellect were clear from a young age, though his shy nature made him a target for bullying at school. At one point, he was even hospitalized after a physical attack by other students. Despite these challenges, Elon found comfort in books and computers, teaching himself programming at just 12 years old. His first creation, a space-themed video game called Blaster, earned him $500 when he sold it to a computer magazine, his first taste of success in the tech world. Elon's upbringing was shaped by his Canadian mother, May, a model and dietitian, and his South African father, Errol, an electromechanical engineer. But as he grew older, Elon began to feel limited by his environment in South Africa. At 17, he moved to Canada to attend Queen's University in Ontario, a decision that not only opened the door to new educational opportunities, but also served as a stepping stone to the United States, where he believed the future of technology was unfolding. While at university, Elon's entrepreneurial spirit started to shine. He and a friend rented a large off-campus house and turned it into a nightclub, charging entrance fees to help cover their living expenses. This experience gave him a glimpse of what was possible through creativity and business, a mindset that would later define his career. After graduating in 1997, Elon Musk was accepted into a PhD program in applied physics and material science at Stanford University. But his time there was short-lived, just 2 days to be exact. Realizing that Silicon Valley's fast-paced world of tech innovation was where he needed to be, Elon decided to leave the program. Driven by his belief in seizing opportunities and taking risks, he chose to dive headfirst into entrepreneurship. In 1996, Elon co-founded his first company, Zip2, an online business directory that helped newspapers provide maps and local listings, a concept that foreshadowed modern platforms like Google Maps and Yelp. The startup quickly gained traction, attracting attention from key players in Silicon Valley. By 1999, computer giant Compaq acquired Zip2 for nearly $300 million, marking Elon's first major success. Riding that momentum, Elon founded X.com in 1999, aiming to revolutionize the financial world through online payments. The company soon evolved into PayPal, one of the first platforms to simplify digital transactions. Though PayPal's growth was rapid, Elon's ambitious ideas and unorthodox management style sometimes clashed with other executives. Despite the internal friction, the company's success was undeniable, leading to its acquisition by eBay in 2002 for $1.5 billion. After the success of PayPal, Elon Musk used his earnings to launch his most ambitious ventures yet, companies that would redefine industries and push the limits of technology. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with the goal of making space travel more affordable and eventually enabling humans to live on Mars. It was a bold move. At the time, space exploration was dominated by government agencies, and no private company had successfully launched rockets into orbit. Undeterred, Elon poured $100 million of his own money into the venture. The early days were rough, marked by several failed rocket launches that put the company on the brink of collapse. But Elon refused to give up. After years of persistence, SpaceX made history in 2008 by becoming the first private company to send a rocket to the International Space Station, cementing its place as a game changer in the aerospace industry. While building SpaceX, Elon also became heavily involved with Tesla, which he co-founded in 2004. Investing millions of his own money, he took a hands-on approach, overseeing design and engineering to bring electric vehicles into the mainstream. Tesla faced its fair share of challenges, from production delays to financial struggles, but Elon's determination paid off. In 2012, Tesla launched the Model S, which received widespread acclaim for its performance, design, and range, helping to shift public perception of electric cars from niche to desirable. Beyond SpaceX and Tesla, Elon continued to tackle what he saw as critical issues for humanity's future. He co-founded SolarCity to promote solar energy, launched Neuralink to explore brain-machine interfaces, and founded the Boring Company to develop underground tunnels aimed at reducing urban traffic congestion. Each venture reflected Elon's vision of pushing the boundaries of technology to address some of the world's biggest challenges. But to understand why Elon Musk dislikes Mark Zuckerberg, we need to take a closer look at Zuckerberg's story and see where the two tech titans first clashed. Born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York, Mark Zuckerberg grew up in a household that valued education and intellectual curiosity. His father, Edward, was a dentist, while his mother, Karen, worked as a psychiatrist. The second of 4 children, Mark showed an early interest in computers and programming. Even as a child, he had a natural talent for problem-solving and technology. By the age of 12, he had created a messaging program called ZuckNet that allowed computers in his father's dental office to communicate, a striking parallel to Elon Musk's early success with coding, perhaps planting the seeds of their future rivalry. After graduating high school, Mark enrolled at Harvard University in 2002, initially studying psychology. However, his passion for technology quickly took center stage. In his sophomore year, he developed FaceMash, a website that allowed students to compare photos of their classmates and vote on who was more attractive. Although Harvard shut the site down after just a few days due to privacy concerns, FaceMash gained significant attention and hinted at Mark's potential to create engaging online platforms. Inspired by the buzz surrounding FaceMash, Mark set his sights on a more ambitious project. In 2004, alongside his college roommates, Eduardo Savarine, Andrew McCollum, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes, he launched the Facebook. Originally designed as a social network exclusively for Harvard students, the platform allowed users to create profiles, connect with friends, and share information. Its popularity spread quickly, first to other Ivy League schools and then to universities across the United States and Canada. As the Facebook gained momentum, it caught the attention of investors. Recognizing its potential, Mark and his team made a bold decision. They dropped out of college in 2004 to pursue the project full-time. They relocated to California, where they secured office space and began refining the platform's features. It was a pivotal moment in Mark's life, trading the security of higher education for the uncertain but thrilling world of entrepreneurship. With backing from key investors, including PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, who interestingly had worked alongside Elon Musk, the Facebook rebranded as Facebook and continued to evolve. Its clean, user-friendly interface encouraged people to share their lives online. By 2006, Facebook had grown from a college-exclusive network into a global platform, opening its doors to anyone over the age of 13 with a valid email address. This move proved crucial in cementing Facebook's position as a leader in social media. As its user base skyrocketed, so did the company's valuation, propelling Mark into the spotlight as one of the youngest billionaires in history. Over time, Facebook expanded its reach by acquiring several key companies, including Instagram and WhatsApp. These acquisitions not only diversified Facebook's services, but also strengthened its dominance in both social media and messaging. Mark's vision was to build an interconnected ecosystem where people could communicate, share, and engage across multiple platforms seamlessly. Outside the realm of tech, Mark has also shown a commitment to tackling broader societal issues. In 2015, he and his wife, Priscilla Chan, founded the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative, a philanthropic organization focused on advancing human potential and promoting equal opportunity. Their efforts span education, scientific research, and social justice, with a pledge to donate the majority of their wealth to causes aimed at creating a more equitable world. In 2021, Facebook rebranded as Meta, reflecting Mark's vision of building the metaverse, a digital space where people can connect, work, and play through virtual and augmented reality. Despite the name change, apps like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp kept their original names. Still, Mark's influence extends well beyond Meta. He's a vocal advocate for advancements in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and global connectivity, aiming to create a more inclusive digital future. While both Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are among the greatest minds of their generation, their clashing viewpoints have sparked a rivalry that's gradually escalated over the past decade. Their relationship, marked by both innovation and competition, has drawn public attention, particularly when their contrasting opinions on artificial intelligence and occasional business conflicts have boiled over into heated exchanges. In 2016, the tension between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg took a significant turn when SpaceX faced a major setback. The company had been contracted to launch Facebook's Amos 6 satellite, which was designed to provide internet access to underserved regions worldwide, an essential part of Mark's mission to connect more people, especially in developing countries. But during a routine test on September 1st, the Falcon 9 rocket exploded on the launch pad, destroying both the rocket and the satellite. Mark didn't hold back his disappointment. Taking to Facebook, he expressed how deeply frustrated he was that the launch failure had destroyed their satellite, which was meant to help so many people. Elon, however, stayed quiet at first. It wasn't until 2018 that he addressed the incident on Twitter, with a mix of humor and blunt honesty. Acknowledging the failure, Elon quipped that it was his fault for being an idiot, adding that SpaceX had offered Facebook a free launch as compensation and that the satellite was insured. In other words, Elon seemed to suggest that Mark had no reason to hold a grudge. His tweet, while lighthearted, underscored the competitive and sometimes prickly dynamic between the two tech giants. The SpaceX incident wasn't the only source of tension between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. In 2017, their differing views on artificial intelligence, AI, brought their rivalry back into the spotlight. During a Facebook Live session, a viewer asked Mark about Elon's concerns regarding AI, something Musk had repeatedly warned about, calling it one of humanity's greatest threats. Mark didn't mince words. He expressed optimism about AI's potential and said he couldn't understand people who spread fear with doomsday scenarios, even calling such viewpoints irresponsible. For Mark, AI represented an opportunity to drive innovation and improve lives, not a threat. Elon, however, wasn't impressed. Shortly after Mark's comments, he fired back on Twitter, saying that he had discussed the topic with Mark before and found his understanding of AI to be limited. This exchange was more than just a personal disagreement. It reflected a larger debate within the tech world. While Elon advocates for caution and regulation, warning that AI could become uncontrollable and dangerous, Mark believes in embracing AI's potential to benefit humanity. As the years went on, the tension between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg evolved beyond personal disagreements, with both leaders speaking out on industry issues and public concerns. Their rivalry was also shaped by increasing regulatory scrutiny and shifting public sentiment. Facebook, in particular, faced heavy criticism over privacy breaches, the spread of misinformation, and its influence on society, leading to calls for tighter regulation. Meanwhile, Elon, who faced his own challenges with Tesla and SpaceX, often shared his opinions on these topics, sometimes criticizing how tech companies, including Facebook, handled such issues. The feud escalated further when Elon began openly criticizing Mark's approach to social media and its societal impact. He voiced concerns about Facebook's role in spreading misinformation and influencing public opinion, issues that had become major points of contention. In 2018, Elon took a bold step by deleting the Facebook pages for Tesla and SpaceX, signaling his disapproval of the platform. His decision aligned with growing public concerns about social media's effects, but it also underscored his personal dislike for Facebook and its leadership. Mark, naturally, defended his company's mission to connect people worldwide, but Elon's stance played a key role in shaping his own social media ambitions. Years later, when Elon bought Twitter, he positioned the acquisition as a move to champion free speech, vowing to create a platform where differing viewpoints could coexist without censorship, further cementing the divide between the two tech giants. The tension between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg intensified when the number delete Facebook movement started gaining traction. The movement took off after the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which exposed that millions of Facebook users' data had been harvested without their knowledge or consent. As public outrage grew over privacy violations and data misuse, influential figures began urging people to delete their Facebook accounts. Among them was Brian Acton, the co-founder of WhatsApp, who publicly encouraged users to leave the platform. Elon soon joined the conversation with a tweet that quickly went viral. "What's Facebook?" The seemingly offhand remark was a clear dig at the social media giant, reflecting his disdain for the platform amid rising concerns over its privacy and ethical practices. Not long after, Elon made headlines by deleting the Facebook pages for both Tesla and SpaceX. In a follow-up tweet, he claimed he hadn't even realized SpaceX had a Facebook page, reinforcing his apparent indifference toward the platform. Elon's actions carried significant weight for two reasons. First, they underscored the growing public distrust of Facebook, particularly regarding data privacy and misinformation. Second, as a high-profile tech leader, his public break with Facebook amplified the movement's momentum. By deleting his company's Facebook accounts, Elon aligned himself with a growing movement demanding more accountability and transparency from social media platforms. His public stance further fueled the ongoing feud with Mark, adding another layer of tension to their already complicated relationship. While both are influential tech leaders, their visions often clash. Mark built his empire by fostering social networking and online communities, while Elon has always preferred a more direct connection with his audience. He frequently uses Twitter, now rebranded as X, to share updates, tease new products, and engage with both fans and critics, often without the filter of traditional media. Meanwhile, Mark faced mounting challenges as Facebook's reputation suffered from a series of controversies, including the spread of misinformation and its impact on political discourse. These issues forced him into the spotlight, defending Facebook's practices before Congress and navigating intense public scrutiny. As the years went on, the rivalry between the two tech giants continued to play out in different ways. Elon became increasingly vocal on Twitter, often using the platform to criticize social media's role in society, while Mark maintained a more reserved public presence, focusing on rebuilding trust and steering his company through turbulent times. The cage match in 2023 became the peak of Elon and Mark's long-standing feud. What started as a playful comment from Elon quickly escalated into a potential showdown that captured the public's imagination. It all began when Elon casually tweeted that he'd be willing to fight Mark in a cage match. The idea, equal parts absurd and fascinating, spread like wildfire, with fans and media eagerly speculating about what a clash between two of the world's most powerful tech moguls would look like. At first glance, Elon seemed to have the advantage due to his taller frame and larger build. However, it didn't take long for people to question whether he was truly prepared for such an intense physical challenge. Known more for his work in tech than his athleticism, Elon openly admitted he wasn't in peak shape, raising doubts about his stamina and agility inside the octagon. Mark, on the other hand, had a clear upper hand when it came to training and experience. Having dedicated years to practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he wasn't just dabbling. He'd trained with elite fighters like UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya and UFC featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski. Rolling with world-class athletes gave Mark a solid grasp of grappling and submission techniques, as well as the confidence to perform under pressure. Unlike Elon, he understood the physical demands of a fight and knew how to handle himself in high-stakes situations. Despite his lack of training, Elon still had a decent shot at winning thanks to his significant size advantage, standing about 6 inches taller and weighing over 100 pounds more than Mark. In fighting sports, size matters for a reason, and the difference between their builds couldn't be ignored. As the buzz around the potential match grew, the two began trading playful jabs and insults on social media, fueling the hype even further. Fans eagerly speculated about what the showdown might look like, with some even imagining it as a live-streamed event watched by millions worldwide. But this wasn't just about a fight. It symbolized a clash of personalities and mindsets, with both men representing starkly different approaches to business, technology, and life itself. As the banter continued, both Elon and Mark reportedly ramped up their training. Elon even suggested hosting the fight in Rome's Colosseum, turning the spectacle into a modern-day gladiator match streamed live on their respective platforms. However, as excitement reached a fever pitch, the logistical hurdles of making the fight happen became clear. Pulling off a legitimate match between two high-profile billionaires meant navigating a maze of legal, safety, and promotional considerations. Discussions began to focus on everything from the fight's venue and streaming rights to the rules and safety measures needed to ensure both men could step into the cage without risking serious injury. Despite the initial hype, the cage match never happened. Although neither Elon nor Mark gave a specific reason, several factors likely played a role. Both men lead massive companies, and balancing their demanding schedules with the intense training needed for a fight proved difficult, especially under constant public scrutiny. Plus, the sheer absurdity of the idea began to clash with their carefully built reputations. As influential figures in their industries, stepping into a cage for a spectacle, even if for charity, could have damaged their professional images. There was also the undeniable risk of injury, something neither man could afford given their responsibilities. In the end, fans were left to wonder what might have been. But even though the fight never happened, the rivalry between Elon and Mark didn't fizzle out. In fact, their feud found new fuel in the ongoing competition between their platforms. One of the most notable moments came when Elon openly criticized Meta's platforms, particularly Instagram. He suggested that the app contributed to feelings of depression, tapping into broader conversations about social media's impact on mental health, especially among young people. Elon didn't stop there. He also called out WhatsApp, implying that the messaging app wasn't as trustworthy as it claimed to be. Given that WhatsApp is known for its end-to-end encryption, this comment hit a nerve, raising questions about privacy and security. Elon's criticisms weren't just directed at Meta's products. they seemed to reflect his deeper distrust of Mark, with one pointed comment suggesting that Mark was a liar, referencing Meta's past controversies surrounding user safety and privacy. While the much-hyped cage match between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg seems increasingly unlikely, their rivalry has found a new battleground: social media. With the launch of Zuckerberg's platform, Threads, tensions between the two tech moguls have only escalated. Musk, known for his sarcastic and often provocative online presence, has taken to responding to memes mocking Zuckerberg with his signature cry-laughing emoji. He's also been quick to like posts criticizing Threads, further fueling the rivalry. Zuckerberg, for his part, has delivered a few subtle jabs of his own. When a former Meta engineer pointed out that the word Threads appeared to be censored from Twitter's trending tab, Zuckerberg replied with a simple "concerning," followed by a cry-laughing emoji, mirroring Musk's signature online reaction. Even brands have joined the fray. When Wendy's suggested on Threads that Zuckerberg should take the feud to space, the Meta CEO responded with another cry-laughing emoji. The playful banter took a sharper turn when a screenshot of the interaction made its way to Musk, who responded by calling Zuckerberg a cuck, a term often used as an insult in right-wing online spaces. The exchange didn't stop there. Hours later, Musk escalated things further by suggesting a literal dick measuring contest, a comment that quickly became fodder for social media users, many of whom mocked Musk for the immature remark. One user compared the outburst to a classic Robert Crumb comic panel depicting a bitter man stewing in jealousy at the sight of a happy stranger, implying that Musk's frustration stemmed from Zuckerberg's seemingly stable, low-key family life. As the online spat continued, the Threads versus Twitter rivalry appeared to be headed for the courtroom. Musk accused Meta of copying Twitter's design and functionality, even sending a cease and desist letter alleging that Meta had hired former Twitter employees who misused proprietary information to build Threads. Despite the growing animosity, talk of a physical showdown between the two billionaires lingered. On August 6, 2024, Musk claimed that the fight was still on, announcing that it would be live-streamed on X, with all proceeds going to charity. He didn't specify a date, but shared that he had been lifting weights throughout the day in preparation. When a user asked why he was so determined to fight, Musk responded, "It's a civilized form of war. Men love war." Zuckerberg wasted no time firing back on Threads. Mocking Twitter's history of technical glitches, he suggested using a more reliable platform for the charity stream. He also claimed that he was ready to fight today and had originally proposed August 26th as the date, but Musk never confirmed. "Not holding my breath," Zuckerberg wrote, expressing doubt that the fight would ever happen. Musk later explained that the date was uncertain because he needed an MRI on his neck and upper back, hinting that surgery might be required before the fight could take place. By August 11, 2024, Musk proposed that the fight be streamed on both X and Meta without UFC involvement. He hinted that the showdown could happen at Rome's iconic Colosseum, but stopped short of confirming any specific details. Zuckerberg's response on Threads was blunt. "I think we can all agree Elon isn't serious, and it's time to move on. I offered a real date. Dana White offered to make this a legit competition for charity. Elon won't confirm a date, then says he needs surgery, and now asks to do a practice round in my backyard instead. If Elon ever gets serious, he knows how to reach me." The drama took an unexpected turn on August 15th, when Musk posted on X that he planned to show up at Zuckerberg's home uninvited. "Knock, knock, challenge accepted, open the door at Finked," he wrote, tagging Zuckerberg's old Twitter handle. Adding a touch of humor, or perhaps provocation, he followed up with, "Thought you might want some tea, so I brought the bags." Musk continued to post about his supposed visit, leaving many online commentators both amused and bewildered by the antics. Zuckerberg, however, seemed ready to end the spectacle, A spokesperson for Meta told The Verge that Mark takes this sport seriously and isn't going to fight someone who randomly shows up at his door. With Zuckerberg's apparent exit from the conversation and no confirmed date for the fight, the long-anticipated showdown now seems like nothing more than internet folklore. Whether the two billionaires will ever settle their differences in a cage or a courtroom remains to be seen, but for now, their rivalry continues to play out in the digital arena, where the whole world is watching. Americans still dislike Mark Zuckerberg more than Elon Musk. Despite Elon Musk's headline-grabbing moves, like slashing government agencies and making deep workforce cuts, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO remains more popular with Americans than Meta's Mark Zuckerberg. Polls over the last few years have consistently shown Zuckerberg trailing behind Musk in both approval ratings and public trust. According to a recent Pew Research Center survey, 42% of Americans view Musk favorably, while only 25% feel the same about Zuckerberg, a 17-point gap. This trend isn't new. In 2021, a Vox and Data for Progress poll found that 50% of Americans had a favorable opinion of Musk compared to just 31% for Zuckerberg. At that time, Zuckerberg had yet to testify before Congress about Facebook's role in spreading misinformation and handling user privacy. By 2022, Zuckerberg's approval had fallen even further. An NBC News poll showed that only 8% of Americans viewed him positively, compared to 31% for Musk. This survey was conducted shortly after Musk acquired Twitter, but before he made controversial decisions like reinstating figures such as Donald Trump, Andrew Tate, and Jordan Peterson. A 2023 survey of Gen Z by YouGov and Business Insider found that 23% of respondents considered Mark Zuckerberg somewhat trustworthy, compared to 34% who said the same about Elon Musk. While the Pew Research poll showed that most Americans hold unfavorable views of both tech moguls, Musk tends to spark stronger reactions. About 36% of respondents said they had very unfavorable views of Musk, with another 18% feeling mostly unfavorable toward him. In contrast, Zuckerberg's criticism is more moderate. Only 26% expressed very unfavorable opinions, while 41% had mostly unfavorable views. But what do you think? If you had to choose, whose side are you on, Musk or Zuckerberg? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss more content like this. Until next time, stay tuned.